start the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Saw content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil.
Well, guys, the impossible actually happened. Me and Primey decided to meet up and hash things out. But before we get into it, please hit the like button and the hype button as well. It really helps out channels like mine to be able to stand up to the greedy corporations and the toxic influencers who run damage control for them. But guess what? It went pretty well. It was respectful, there was no name calling, no personal shots, none of that nonsense. Even though we're going to have to agree to disagree on certain things, I think it's important to show that two people who see things differently can still sit down and have a mature, respectful conversation. But a quick heads up though, Discord was unfortunately acting up at times, so you might notice our mics cutting in and out here and there. That was just the technical issues. It was unfortunate and I'm truly sorry about it. But with that said, let's get into the video.
Our guest here for the last hour of the stream is Angry Vigilante. He is a YouTuber. You guys may have heard of him. Some of you guys, I don't know who he is. For those that don't know who you are, you want to introduce yourself?
Yep, I am the Angry Vigilante Show. I sit here and make news, rants, I do game reviews sometimes, and I also like to react to salty fanboys.
That you do. All right. So tonight, guys, you know, I invited him on the show because we've been going back and forth for, I don't know, multiple weeks on my channel and the content on my channel. So it's kind of what we're going to be, I don't know if you really want to call it a debate, a conversation that we're going to have about his issues with basically my content and how I run stuff. Before we dive into that and he explains his problems and we have our back and forth, I first just want to say, because it's the first time I've talked to you via voice in a long time, maybe since I popped up briefly on some other show you were on. I just wanted to say personally thank you for getting my son those eShop gift cards. He literally just used some of them this week. So,
oh, that's great. Yeah, hopefully he got the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. That game is amazing.
Yeah, I told him about that one. He right now he bought You Could Replay Lee because he really wanted that one.
Okay.
So that's the upgraded version, obviously, of the of a good game, just a better version of it. Anyways, so yeah, I just wanted to say thank you. For guys who don't know, he when my son was going through his worst stuff, he reached out and wanted to throw some eShop love his way because, you know, he got that Switch 2 and he goes, hey, you know, ABS sold the Switch 2 as well, guys. It's not like he's adverse to playing Nintendo stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So the floor is yours. What's your issue with my content in my channel?
Well, I don't have an issue with all your content, but I really don't like when it comes to the rumors. And then I really don't like, especially when people go on, like, whether it's Twitter or YouTube saying, you know, leaving comments saying like, oh, well, when has a, what exactly did you say? You said that whenever, when has a general direct been for everybody, or when has everybody been happy? You know, because when you guys report on all these leaks and rumors, and sometimes you'll blur the lines between leaks and rumors so much to the point where people can't even tell the difference sometimes, and then it whips everybody into a frenzy and it gives them false hope when they really need that hope at the time.
Yeah, so I have blurred the line between leaks and rumors. I mean, I don't if you watch the videos, but you know, if you just title surf and read thumbnails, sure. It's kind of a weird thing. Personally, I don't like it. I've been on record saying that I don't like that I do it either. I stopped doing it for a bit last year and went back to blurring the line because everyone else in my space is blurring the line, and I truly feel that, like, I think I give really good information about the rumors in my videos, and some of the other people that are blurring the lines are not, and yet because they use the word leak, which gets more views on YouTube, more and more people get misinformed because they're not providing, in my opinion, good information on the rumors. So it's sometimes not even calling them a rumor even in the video. Sometimes they still call them leaks in the video, not even clarifying that it is a rumor. So I just said, you know what? If this is the way the YouTube game works in my space, then I'm just going to play the game, but I'm going to provide the real information in the video and stand by that content I put in the video of calling it a rumor. So I understand that when people just title surf, and I realize a huge chunk of the internet just title surfs. They don't watch all the content, right? So I get that, but I also just say to anyone who title surfs, honestly, it's kind of their problem, not mine, because they're choosing to not get context. And without context, none of the titles matter anyways. Even if you put rumor in the title, still doesn't matter if you don't know the context.
Yeah, well, I will say that there's a couple of videos where I wouldn't say you really gave all the context, like especially when it came to Nate the Hate. That one I will still disagree with you on. I watched his podcast. There's no way that anybody can walk away thinking that was a possibility of a general direct.
Well, I literally played his own words in my video. I don't know how anyone can misconstrue what he said.
I
literally played. I know you watched his podcast, but in my video on that, I played like a 5-minute clip. It was just his own words.
Yeah, but nowhere in there did he even push towards a general direct. There was no way anybody can say that there was going to be a general direct.
His own words were, I don't know if it's a general direct or a partner showcase. That's his own words.
Yeah, but throughout the whole thing, he was saying, I was hearing about third-party stuff. And then he said whenever it came to first-party stuff, he would be like, I predict that it was going to come. There's where the difference is. Yeah, he did say that I don't know the difference, but or not the difference. I don't know if it's going to be a partner showcase or a general direct. That is true. He did say that. But if you listen to everything else he said, everything was pointing towards that there was going to be a partner showcase and not a general direct.
How often do you listen to Nate the Hate's podcast and follow his reports and rumors?
I don't follow him very often. I just watched that one for the context. It was a good podcast.
Okay.
I'll give him that one. It was a very good one.
Sure. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it. You know, I think he makes some quality content. And obviously he's got his sources and he's been very reliable for a long time. So what you'll find about Nate the Hate, if you paid attention over the years, is like 99% of what he hears is always from third parties. He almost never knows about first party stuff. So that's like par for the course with him.
Yeah, so then you would agree the podcast was more pointing towards to a general direct then, if that's what he mostly hears. Like, I'm just going off of what Nate the Hate says.
Well, no. So you're going off the podcast where his literal words, his actual words were, I don't know if it's a general or a partner.
Prime me.
The rest of the show, the things that he knew about were all third party. But I'm telling you, that's what he always knows about, even when it is general.
I know, Prime. I'm not trying to be rude, but your mic keeps cutting in and out.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out for me too.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
guys,
if it was me or you.
Yeah. Is that a new mic gave you? Yeah, people are asking about your mic because you're cutting out. It could be a Discord thing as well. Let me check Discord settings. Discord sometimes is wonky.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming if it's both of us, it has to be Discord then.
Yeah, because I know on my end, everyone's obviously getting the raw audio from my computer and everything's they're not even hearing my Discord voice.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, everything looks like it's working on Discord on my end. My thing's lighting up. Am I coming through fine right now? Maybe it was just like a temporary thing.
Yeah. I can hear you just fine. Okay, so can you repeat that? I'm sorry, you were cutting in and out. I couldn't fully hear. I want to get the full context.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, I was pointing out that most of what Nate the Hate ever hears about is third-party games. This is even when it is a general direct. He only really ever hears about the third-party games. I'm not saying he never hears about first-party, but it's pretty sparse that he does. So when you listen to that, if it's the only one you've ever listened to, it can be understandable where you're like, well, he's clearly talking about a partner, even though he mentioned he wasn't sure if it was a partner or general. But if you follow Nate the Hate's rumors over the years, you would know, even when it is a general, he still only really knows about the third-party games. So like that's not really an indicator. if you followed him long enough. The indicator is he tells you when he knows, and he didn't know as of that podcast. He did not know what kind of direct it was, and he said that himself in that. I really played the clip. Like he said himself, he didn't know.
Yeah, and I acknowledge that he actually said that. But again, when you go through the whole thing, when you watch it, it was mainly pointing as the third party direct. I understand that I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that what you're saying is true because I haven't watched his stuff in the past. He might have sat here and said, he might have known more about the whole third party stuff over the first party stuff. But I mean, literally, if you just watch the podcast, it was literally pointing towards that third party direct or the partner showcase.
Sure, and that's your opinion coming out of the podcast. Now, in my video on it, I don't lean either direction.
It felt like you were pushing towards the general direct.
Okay. When you watch my content, do you know the difference between the report and then my opinion section?
Maybe not.
Okay. So the actual report is just his words. I leave it like that and I tell the audience, here's what he said. I literally played the clip. You guys can lean whatever way you want. And then I mentioned there's other rumors that have been out there. And those other rumors were saying just a direct. They didn't mention general or partner. That was natural. We don't always have the backlog. Obviously, it ended up being a partner. So we brought up both possibilities in that show. The title never said general direct. It just said Nintendo Direct, which is just a general term for any thing that Nintendo calls a direct.
I know. Yeah,
I don't know if the audience takes it that way, but that's the way I use it. It's a general term, whether it's an individual game direct or a partner showcase direct. Nintendo uses the term Nintendo Direct on different things. You'll see it in some of my titles since then, like the rumors from Nash about a general direct. Like I try to use the word general when that is known to be what the rumor's about. Because also when people see the word general Nintendo Direct, I know that makes them more excited as well. Because that's what people like, those directs usually more than the other ones. Yeah. So anyways, that particular video, I felt like I did a pretty good job just letting Nate talk. And then I say, audience, what do you think? And then I give my thoughts. And my thoughts are like, hey, we need a general direct. It would make sense if it was a general direct. There's a lot of stuff we don't know. And that's where it starts to lean towards that way just because, and even now, I still feel like we need a general direct. We don't have any release dates for any Switch 2 game after March.
Well, it really depends. Like when it,
that's just
like
my opinion.
I do agree that we need release dates. Now, I guess it really depends if we really need a general direct or not. I mean, like more directs is always better. It's going to be more content for me and you. We're going to see more games. We're going to get more excited either way. But if Nintendo like really wants that third party support, I don't think it's a smart move to push out so much first party content like they did last generation. Because like one's going to happen. It's either the third party games aren't going to get the support or the first party games aren't going to get the support. Right now, Nintendo doesn't have that full install base to sit here and get massive appeal for both. So like one's got to give.
And how do you think they get the massive install base?
Well, they just got to keep selling the consoles. They got to keep putting out good games also. But I don't think that you should like I said, I don't think it's a good idea to have like all that first party content that we got for last generation. We still need some, way more than what PlayStation gives out, of course. But I don't think that if you're serious about the third party support, you can't just push out non-stop content like you did last generation. I just don't think it's a good idea. If you want the third party support.
Interesting. I say this because we had tons of third-party games that sold well on Switch last generation. That's interesting.
But if you compare what you guys got on the Switch compared to the other platforms, it's not even comparable. You can't even compare the third-party support.
Sure, but like in the other platforms, guys, in this case, it's mostly PlayStation that matters because Xbox has just kind of dropped the ball for a while.
Yeah, I don't even consider
PlayStation
Xbox part of the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I own an Xbox Series. I enjoy it. We use Game Pass. It's fine, but yeah, it's not like when we're talking about like the serious future of the industry stuff.
I'm mainly talking about Steam and PlayStation.
We'll see what they do with the next Xbox, but
I'm talking about Steam
PlayStation,
and PlayStation.
PC. Yeah. And obviously PC is just everything You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like exclusive. Yeah, there's tons of exclusive games on PC, but it's not, you know, people don't view it that way. Okay, so with PlayStation, you know, ever since the PS1, they've been built on the back of third parties. Like that's how they built the entire brand, was off third party games. And at the time, it was like exclusive ones because they were pulling them away from Nintendo. But over time, that has changed. They're multi-plat and everything. But PlayStation's kind of always been that way. Nintendo hasn't. So to me, I just don't think they grow that install base by going away from what worked. Like they just came off the best generation in Nintendo history. Like changing strategies, I don't think make sense. But that's neither here nor there. That's not really an issue with the content. We could debate obviously back and forth on you know, what we think is the best direction for Switch 2 in the future and stuff like that. But before we do any other bonus topics or anything else that comes up, probably should finish talking about issues with the content. So we talked about the Nate the Hate thing. Are we settled on that, just that particular aspect, the Nate the Hate one?
Yeah, I think we're settled on it. You know, I think we're just going to agree to disagree on that part, I think.
Okay. So besides that particular episode that I know that you brought up on X and had a problem with, is there like any other issues you have in general with my content?
No, it's mainly like the only part, like when it comes to your new stuff, I don't have a problem with your new stuff. I actually watch it because there's things I want to know about when it comes to certain games. But, sorry, I had a brain fart for a second. But when you sit there, like the biggest problem I would say that I have is when you report on the leaks and the rumors, and then when people get disappointed, you guys, well, sorry, not you guys, but you don't generally will take accountability, it feels like. And on X, you told me that you not covering it is taking accountability, and I got up.
And what am I accountable to?
Well, when you get people hyped up, when you report on stuff that has no tangible evidence, I think that you should take accountability, saying, hey, I was wrong. I got you guys hyped up.
What am I wrong about? It's a rumor.
When you report on stuff that has no tangible evidence to go off of, you're going to get backlash if it doesn't come to be true. And then when you sit here and drop comments saying, well, I don't think everybody's going to be happy, stuff like that, you kind of have to expect the backlash to go with it. And I believe that you should take accountability saying, hey, I was wrong.
Well, what am I wrong about exactly?
For getting people hyped up for nothing.
So covering rumors.
Yeah, pretty much. Leaks is fine. You know, if you got something tangible to go off of, that's fine. I cover stuff that has something tangible to go off of.
So your issue is I cover rumors. I'm just trying to clarify. The issue is that I cover rumors, and when they're wrong, I don't take accountability for being wrong.
You don't take accountability for hyping people up.
Okay. So then should I take accountability when the rumors are correct? Because I don't do that either.
Sure, you can be like, yep, I was correct. You can do that if you want.
But I wasn't correct because it's not my rumor. I'm not the source.
Okay, you can sit here and
take credit for other people's information.
Okay, fine. Well, you don't have to take credit for like that part, but you can sit here and be like, yep, the rumor was correct. And then you could be like, oh, when the rumor's not correct, be like, sorry, guys, I got you all hyped up for nothing.
When people get hyped up, do they have any personal accountability for their own hype?
Of course they do. You got to take it you got to take what people say with a grain of salt, no matter what they sit there and say. But when you have a platform, you got a responsibility.
Okay. So what is my responsibility as someone talking about rumors, stating their rumors, stating you shouldn't necessarily believe them, but here are the reasons this person, the reasons that we're covering this person. I provide all that context, and then shouldn't it just be up to them if they get excited or not? Because I got to be honest, I'm 39 years old. There is nobody that's in control of my hype but me. It doesn't matter what anybody says. Nate the Hate could come out tomorrow and say there's a Switch 2 Pro dropping next week and we're getting a new 3D Legend of Zelda. And if I get overhyped for that, that's actually not his fault because it's a rumor. That's my fault for not having some skepticism, because that doesn't sound like something that would be happening right now. Like, it doesn't make sense, even though he's super reliable.
Okay, sorry, you cut out the last second, but yes, technically, yes, you are responsible for your own hype. You should sit there and take what people say with a grain of salt. Like I've said before, keep your expectations in check. But at the same time, you have a platform. You have a responsibility when it comes down to it. If you hype people up when things turn out to be wrong, you should be like, yep, the rumor was wrong. I'm sorry, guys. That's all you have to do. But you say not covering them is taking accountability.
No. When I cut them out from coverage, okay, as an example, I've already talked about Nash not being correct about week 3. I talked about it in a dedicated video. I talked about it on live stream, and I talked about it on a podcast. So what accountability did I not take for him being wrong?
I said that before you made that video. And I wouldn't say you really took accountability.
Did you know I already addressed it on a live stream?
I don't watch all your live streams, man. Because after you're done, I'm not able to watch it.
Yeah, they go to member only. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
it's because we play copyrighted music.
I get it. Yeah. See, if you didn't put them on member only, then I would watch them. But I can't. Trust me. I get sent clips. Oh, I get sent things from people saying, "Oh, Prime said this on his live." I'm like, well, I can't watch it, so there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, obviously, I disagree with you. I don't think I'm responsible for anyone's hype. I think they're responsible for themselves. I think that rumors are rumors. They're literally, the definition of the word is they're meant to be doubted. No matter how excited I might act, that's me being excited. I'm not going to apologize for my excitement, because my audience, and I showed this earlier on the stream, my audience is like, 80% over the age of 25 and like 97% over the age of 18. Like, it's adults. My audience is adults. Of course, adults are the only ones that would watch news videos. Speaking as a father, my kids don't like my content. It's not very entertaining to children. My live streams maybe more so, but like my actual videos are kind of dull to them because, it's a guy in his 30s rambling about Nintendo news, right? But the thing is, because my audience is such a big adult audience, I like to think it's a mature audience. Because while I do get some backlash, absolutely, honestly, it's not that bit. Like, it's not that many people that are backlashing, because they understand that a rumor is a rumor. Like, they know what rumors are. They're mature adults. Like, I don't feel like I have to be accountable for covering a rumor to people who understand what rumors are. Like, if they get overhyped, and there's definitely people, I see the comments, like people get disappointed, covering a rumor, like, oh, well, here we go again, or blah, blah, blah. That's fine. I get why people feel that way. I just don't know, like, this thing, when I talked about Nash, it's not the first time that I have brought up a rumor after the fact and said, oh, it was wrong. And then I move on. Like, I'm not going to apologize for it being wrong. The whole reasons I covered it were in the video, and those reasons still stand for that video at the time. As time moves on and more information comes out, as an example, if Nash Weedle has no Direct next month, no 3D Mario, I'm not covering him anymore. And I've been very public about this long before you and I debated. I was public about this like 6 weeks ago. That if he's wrong, I'm not covering him because he's taken too big a swing now. This is too big of a swing. And I realize that people are on edge a little bit about the lineup this year and about Switch 2. And I know this. And I've talked about this in my videos when I was covering this stuff. So it's like, if I'm already being that accountable to my content before we even know if the stuff is true, then what else do I need to really say? If it doesn't happen, I already said what happens.
Well, the thing is, when you cover,
I don't feel sorry. What am I sorry for? Someone else's information being incorrect?
Sorry, Discord's really messing up right now. I don't know what's going on. Now I'm starting to hear myself like sometimes talking. This is what the hell's going on with Discord, but sorry, the Discord's being annoying right now. I'm sorry, Prime.
A lot.
What?
It's okay. I'll turn off my music over here and see if that's the problem. I had some background music. I just turned it off to see if that was causing problems.
Oh, okay. Well, now I can hear you perfectly clear now. Maybe it was the music the whole damn time and we just didn't realize it. But no, like I'm still gonna have to disagree with you. When you cover rumors, especially when, you know, because there's nothing tangible to go off of. I don't agree with covering rumors whatsoever. But if people are going to, you know, you're gonna have to anticipate the backlash like you do. But I still think that after the fact, you should be like, okay, yep, I was wrong. Because when it came down to it, there was no reason to even cover the rumor to begin with. A lot of us had a feeling it wasn't going to happen. People have said multiple times that Nash Weedle isn't even that credible to begin with. He obviously was wrong this time. So like, when you sit here and cover stuff that's not tangible, you're going to get backlash. And I believe, yep, I was wrong. I hyped you guys up. It's just simple as that.
Sorry, I tried not to laugh for a second. We just agreed that people have personal responsibility for their own hype, so I'm not hyping them up. They're hyping themselves up.
Yes, but you also have personal responsibility as someone who has a platform the way you do.
Oh, so you come from the perspective that I shouldn't cover rumors at all, right? So a lot of your opinion is framed around you shouldn't even cover rumors. Like rumors just shouldn't be a thing that anyone covers, or most people shouldn't cover, right? That seems to be your.
I personally don't believe anybody should be really covering rumors when it comes down to it, because there's nothing tangible to go off of.
Okay. So you come from that perspective, right? So if you're from that perspective and you're not someone who wants to talk about rumors, you're not someone who wants to entertain them, you're not someone who wants to digest them, then wouldn't your opinion on what I owe to people that want to do it come from the opinion of somebody who doesn't care about rumors in the first place?
Sure. But if people, if there are people that like rumors, love discussing rumors, of course they're not going to sit here and think the same way I do.
Okay, well that's my audience. So who am I apologizing to?
But it's not just your audience that watches your content. You know, I make content too. You know, when I sit here and check my thing, not every single view I get on those videos are returning viewers. That there are new viewers watching.
Sure. Do you mind me asking the percent of your viewers that are new versus returners?
I do not know 100%. Okay. I just know that I get unique viewers that watch. I think that is more. I think that my returning viewers are less than what my newer viewers are. Okay.
I'm going to show this to people on live because obviously new viewers are always a thing. You can't grow on YouTube without new viewers, right?
Yeah.
But I'm showing on stream right now that 69.3%, this is for all of 2026, are returning viewers. Okay. This is actually a really high percentage. Most channels are the flipped, where it's more new viewers than subscribers. But my audience that watches my content are primarily people that want to watch my content and watch it repeatedly. So they are mostly a majority. I'm not saying there's not some new. Obviously we grow. We wouldn't grow otherwise. But a majority of the people watching my content are return viewers. They are people that know what rumors are. They are people that know what my content is. And yeah, you do bring some new viewers in as well. Now, the thing about like from your perspective that you don't think people should cover rumors, you don't consume rumors, you don't care about rumors, or at least you don't go out of your way to consume rumors outside of the realm of what you're doing on YouTube. I would say probably, correct me if I'm wrong, before you were doing YouTube content, did you consume rumors?
I consumed leaks if there was something tangible, but if it was hearsay, no, not really.
Rumors. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you didn't. So now as a YouTuber, you might do it to make content or whatever you're doing, but in general, you don't really do that. Okay. So the 30% of people that click on a video for rumors, and again, not all my content's that, that, but obviously we were in what I like to dub direct season. So like there tends to be a lot more rumors at certain times of the year.
Yep. Oh, it happens.
Usually around February, around February, around June, around September. That's
I remember last year.
That's the way rumors work. It's always those 3 times a year with Nintendo. heading into those months and throughout those months. That's when most of the rumors happen. Okay, because obviously there's people out there that have the impression, and I've seen some of the criticism, it's all you do. And I'm like, nah, you can go back to last year and see there was a huge months where I didn't even have a single rumor in my videos. It's just certain times of the year where it's very heavy. And yes, guys, I do know, and leading up to Switch 2, I covered a lot of Switch 2 rumors, and almost all of them were right. I didn't take any credit for them. I didn't even revisit them because I don't really revisit the rumors. They either come true or they don't come true. Sometimes there was a time that I was going back on my thumbnails. It just became really tedious as a solo content creator, and I'm sure you can understand this part because I cover so many of them that I used to go back and like drop like a confirmed tag like on the thumbnail, and then a false tag or a deconfirmed, and then I also had a partial, like if there was multiple rumors, some of them are right and some of them are wrong. You can actually see some thumbnails on my channel if you go back to like 2024, especially that had some of that going on. But it was it was so time consuming. Because some of the rumors, are things that are like, hey, this isn't happening for 6 months or a year. So it's like, you got to go all the way back to try to update those videos. So I only stopped doing that because, guys, it is something I do want to return to if I ever get like a second employee, because then I can task them as well with that as part of their job. But
I thought you had a second
setting
employee.
that aside, we're not going to agree on. I have a part-time thumbnail artist.
I was talking about Eric.
That right now he's dealing with. Oh no, he's not an employee. No,
okay.
He's a co-owner of the podcast, and he does the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He owns the podcast. So does Snatch. So does Gamebird. Yeah. So we all own the show. So so that's our show, and he actually runs the podcast Clips channel. If you didn't know. So he runs that whole channel on his own. Yeah. So he doesn't really do anything for me. He's done Prime Gaming Fest and some stuff in the past with me, but those are very, very few and far between. He doesn't do anything else on the channel. He's just my best friend. He's been my best friend for a long time. You guys, it's like, I don't know if you had friends help you, but it is what it is. So I don't have like another staff member to go back and update stuff, which is fine. Besides my part-time thumbnail artist, and I'm not going to make him do it. I'm not going to pay him to do it. Like I already pay him to make the thumbnail. Like it gets ridiculous. There's nothing. I'm not going to go, guys, what it costs for the thumbnails, but if a video bombs, I didn't make any money. I probably lost money because I paid for the thumbnail.
There's a reason why I use the AI one.
Sure. So as someone who doesn't really consume rumors, and then I have mostly a returning audience, or I have an audience coming in that wants to see the rumors because that's the kind of content they want to see. I think it's kind of weird to speak to what I should be doing for them when you're not one of those kind of people that would want to consume that content anyways. Like it seems like being concerned for others when you're not part of the others. Like, how would you know what they want? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think, like, I see some people in the chat, hey, if you just come out and be like, oh, that rumor was wrong, sorry for sharing it. I saw some people saying, like, it's not going to make anything worse. It's also not going to make anything better. The people that want to shit talk you for a rumor being wrong, they're not going to give a shit if what you say after the fact. I know this for a fact because I've done what you said, and it doesn't change anything. So,
I know if you were to do that, I want to be covering you then, at least on that specific thing. I know I want to be, so.
You'd probably find something else.
Trust me, Prime. There are plenty. There is no shortage of fanboys out there. I promise you. There is no shortage of people doing stuff on YouTube that I can react to. I promise you on that one.
Yeah. Harmon Smith came up early.
What, Harmon Smith was in
stream, and I'm like, well,
well, it's not just him.
He came up briefly because I know we glanced at your channel, and I was like, oh, see, he does make some salt content. Here's player essence. Here's beat 'em ups. Here's this. Here's that. Oh yeah, there's that guy too. And I forgot his name for a moment. Then someone in the chat said it. I was like, yeah. Look, even he's like the extreme definition of fanboy. I don't even know how else to say it. It's
I actually got called because this may surprise you, but I actually supported the $20 for the Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, and I got called a Nintendo fanboy because I supported it, and got called Harmon Smith 2.0 because I said it was a good deal.
Damn, I didn't even go that far. One, I was not going to buy it anyways, but I came out and I said that I'm not going to read my tweet. It's on my Twitter, but what I said about the Fire Red Leaf Green thing is like, hey man, I see some people bitching. I'm like, look, this is the way I feel in general, and I think you get this vibe from me, and I'm sure you disagree on some things because you're going to take things on an individual level. Consumerism, companies to me can charge whatever they want to charge for their products. It's their products in the end. They're selling it to us. They price it at certain prices. It is up to us to decide if we want to buy it at that price. And I don't understand complaining or expecting the Pokemon Company to sell their classic games for cheaper prices just because on 3DS, Pokemon Crystal was $10. Yes, the 3DS was their worst selling handheld, also during the same generation that they had their worst selling home console. So when that happens, and I pointed this out, prices tend to come down because they're struggling to sell anything. So they have to charge cheaper. You can't charge a more expensive price because you're already struggling to sell what you already have. Nintendo and Pokemon Company aren't in that situation right now. Pokemon is selling better than it's ever sold besides Gen 1. And even the Switch 2, for all of its, PlayStation 5 beat it in the US in January and all that, it's on pace to hit 19 million in Nintendo's first fiscal year. That is a lot of units and the most they've ever sold in the first fiscal year. Lots of reasons for that, overstocking it, all this stuff, whatever. Point is, it's very successful, at least so far in its first year. Success, whether it's built off a Switch or whatever it's built off of. So they're not at a point that they feel like we need to start dropping prices because we're worried about things selling. So $20, I said, is basically what I expected it to be. And I was hoping they wouldn't charge 30 or 40 because they probably would have got away with it. And so I said, you know what? I'm not buying it. And then I even said, I think it should be cheaper. And then someone asked me how cheap. I said, I don't know, $5. It's a 20-year-old game, and they didn't change anything. $5. And people disagree with me when I said $5. I'm like, I don't really care because I'm not gonna buy it. I probably wouldn't even buy it at $5. I don't really replay games, and I already played Gen. I know how many times I played Gen 1. They only have like two remakes of it now. The Let's Go games are also a remake of Gen 1. But I get it. Fire Red Leaf Green. Some people grew up with that version of it. So I understand, and it is a better version than the originals. I can fully admit that. To me, I don't think video games are that serious. Like, just buy it or don't buy it. Like the ultimate thing for Pokemon, I understand, and you probably agree with this. There is some point to online backlash because companies will listen sometimes.
Yeah.
Pokemon Company has proven they're not going to listen.
No,
they had way more backlash over Dexit. They didn't listen. They had a ton of backlash over Scarlet and Violet. They didn't listen. They don't listen. They don't care because they care about the bottom line, which is keep buying our products, right? So the only thing that really matters to them is buy it or don't buy it. So for me, it was like, why are we even complaining about it? It's not going to change anything. It's wasted energy. Just don't buy it. The only way you can ever convince Pokemon Company to change anything is just don't buy it and move on. It's not that serious. It's $20. Buy it, don't buy it. Who cares? Mario Kart World, $80. I don't think it's worth $80. Buy it or don't buy it. It's your choice. I'm going to tell you to spend your money. I don't think it's that serious. I don't think video games are that serious. As someone who even has video games as like an important part of my life because of my career, I still don't think they're that serious. It's a piece of entertainment. It's like a movie comes out and I'll just won't rent it. And if it never comes out on streaming or never gets cheaper, then I'll just never watch it. Not that big a deal to me. And that's kind of the way I feel about games and why I don't complain about pricing too much, at least on the game level. When a console comes out and it's priced like higher than I had any inkling it possibly could be. Like when the PS5 Pro came out at $700, I was like, whoa. It's like $200 more than a PS5.
Oh, I agree. That was ridiculous.
That took me back a bit. Now you look at today, and now it's gone up $50. How technically MSRP of the all digital versions of 500 at launch, and I get there's other economic things going on, but yeah, I was a little shocked at that. So I had a little bit of a negative reaction to the PS5 Pro price, but in the end, if you want to buy a PS5 Pro, you're going to buy a PS5 Pro. It's whatever. Who am I to tell you how to spend your money? And so for me, like, even with that Pokemon thing, that you were getting some backlash out for buying it, because obviously there's people online that think it's overpriced. I just don't think it's a big deal to react to, like, get mad about pricing, like, especially with companies that it's not going to change anything. Nintendo traditionally, backlash has not changed anything with them either. All about sales. It's all about sales with Nintendo and Pokemon. If the sales are bad, then they'll make a change. If the sales aren't bad, then they won't make a change. And you probably know from just your interactions with me and from my content that I'm more of a positive person with gaming. I don't have a ton of negative takes. I have some criticisms here and there, but I don't go like super hardcore on it, because gaming's supposed to be entertainment in the end. It's supposed to be fun. If it's not fun, then just stop spending your money on it.
Yep. Now, I will say that, well, I do disagree when it comes to it's not that serious. I do think it's serious, and everybody knows that I have no problem criticizing price points. But I would love for the Fire Red to be $15, $10, $5. Hell, I would love for it to be free. Anything, but at $20, to me, that's not that big of a deal. If at launch they were $40, if you wanted to buy a physical cartridge, you're looking at what, over $150? I in my video I said $75, but I come to find out that one that was being sold was most likely a fake, because people were telling me, oh no, you're not going to get no physical Fire Red for $75. They're like 150 plus. So I'm gonna take their word on it that it was probably a fake.
Yeah, those old cartridges have a lot of like you buy it, you'll be playing the real copy, but it's like fan made versions. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, I heard some fair criticisms about it. Like, I even said in my video, I think that they should have had the online. That was a given. That they should have sat here and done the online battle, online trading. I don't really do that in any Pokemon game anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. But I could see why some people will be like, oh, I'm not going to buy it because of that. That's a fair criticism. Also, I heard a criticism from people that had the NSO that said, oh, I expected it to be on the NSO. If people bought the NSO and they had, I believe that they had a reasonable expectation to believe a GBA game would come onto the GBA. I am glad that they're giving us the option to buy it, because the NSO could always go up in price. It's taking them this long to even add the game. They can always take it away if they want to. So I'm glad that I'm actually able to buy it. I'll admit I bought it. I pre-ordered it on like right after they that they put it up there, because it's one of my favorite games of all time. Now, I did think it was going to be like 30, 40, like the week before when people were covering the rumors, I didn't cover it, even though people were asking me to, because like I said, I don't cover things without any tangible evidence to go off of. And I was preparing to slam them, because I thought they were going to bundle them two together and charge $60, $70 for it. And I would have ripped them a new one for doing that. But at $20,
be a very Pokemon thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. At $20, I thought it was very fair.
Yeah, I never expected them to go NSO.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, to me, like, I never thought they'd go to NSO. NSO's been around for almost a decade at this point, and nothing but spinoffs have ever gone there. It was very obvious they value the mainline games differently than their spinoffs. So if they ever were to come back, it was always going to be charged, because there's just way more money to make doing that than putting them on NSO. Even though Nintendo would probably like them on there because it maybe could boost some subscriptions, it's still less money for TPC than they would make otherwise. So I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm happy the games came back for those that want it. There's plenty of people that happily bought it at 20. And I think I covered that rumor as well. I don't think I made it like a headliner for my video. It was just like a throw in with my news, but Yeah. Look, I would say I can't make you like rumor content. I'm not here to convince you of that. Like people like what they like, right? And I do appreciate that you're not like some people out there. Because we had a little bet between me and the audience. I thought an argument might come up, and I had no idea if you would make it because you've never made this argument to me. But I've seen other people that have your opinion about my content make this argument. And you obviously are going to think I shouldn't cover rumors, and that's fine. But you're not trying to convince me not to do it, right? Like you're understanding that's part of your content. That's part of what your audience wants. Okay, fine. Like I'm not going to tell you what to do in terms of like what content you should cover. We thought for a moment that, well, what if he tells me that I just shouldn't cover rumors at all ever, and then I should pivot to do something else like game reviews or something. Because I've had other people say that to me, and I always find it when that happens. Like game reviews are such a very, very different kind of content. Like you have to want to review games to review.
Oh
games.
Yeah, and game like, reviews are very time consuming. They are so time consuming.
Yes.
Unless you're like a certain someone, I don't need to throw their names out there.
I would try to hit embargo.
Yeah. Well, also, unless you're like a certain someone, I'm not going to say the name, but we all know that there's a certain someone out there who only plays like 1 hour of the game and then does an immediate review on day one.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, like no, I'm not gonna tell you to go
I watched,
like
Thunderstaff gaming and his.
Sorry, you cut out. You're cutting out right now. I can't hear you.
Yeah, you cut out for a second. Like Thunderstash, he does reviews and he clearly loves it. Like he loves doing it. He dedicates like his whole life to it, man. He's doing nothing but playing games all the time. And I'm happy for him. That's a passion of his. He has a passion for reviewing games. I have reviewed games before. Someone tried calling me out and said, "Oh, but you have reviewed." I'm like, yeah, and that's how I found out I don't like doing it.
Oh yeah.
How I played the game to review it was bullshit. That's not how I play games normally.
No.
Like I like to play games at my pace on my time for my fun. Yeah. I don't want to feel like I gotta rush because like I don't believe, one, you can't do a review if you only played an hour. You can maybe do initial impressions if you want, but you can't do a review.
I agree.
And then I feel like you have to beat the main story of the game before you can even think about doing a review. And then it gets more complicated if there's multiplayer modes and other stuff. And for me, with that as my mentality is I have to beat the main story. Well, now I'm bum rushing through it so I can get a review out in a timely fashion before the game doesn't matter anymore. And that's just not how I want to play. It's less enjoyable. And for some people, they can have just as much enjoyment. Thunderstash enjoys the games just as much because he was already because he likes playing so many games. Like before he was ever a game reviewer, he liked playing so many games. It's already how he was playing games because he wants to play as many as he can before he dies. Like he just loves playing games that much and has the finances to do it. So it was kind of natural for him to decide, hey, why don't I review these things since I'm already hardcore playing these games nonstop.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I got other shit going on. I can't play games like the way that he does. I wish I had the time to play games the way.
I don't either. Like I do enjoy doing game reviews and I don't mind getting mine out. I just dropped a Galaxy 1 and 2 review, and how long ago did that come out? Because sometimes I have other games that I prioritize. And I don't do this full time. I'm married. I have a job, so I don't have the time. So I completely understand on that one. Now, like when you said that you should finish the game before you do a review, I do agree for the most part, but I do think there are certain circumstances where you do not have to. Because like a week ago, I did a review on that Tokyo Scramble game. And I said in the review, I only played like 3 hours of it because the game was just terrible. It was boring. And it was just terrible. So in certain situations like that, I don't think you have to finish the game to know that it's just terrible like that.
Okay, I hate to step out right this second. My dog is literally barking. He's bursting at the seams. I gotta let him out. So you're gonna be left left alone with my audience for a moment. Talk about whatever you want.
All right,
I'll be right back in like, I don't know, 5 minutes.
All right, everybody spam an emoji in the chat. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't even know what to say now. Now he's putting me on the spot, guys. Well, you know, I did do a review on the Galaxy bundle, and surprisingly, I thought that they were actually 2 really good games. I still don't think that they're worth $70. I don't think Nintendo did a good job porting the games over. I thought the controls were terrible. Like, they were playable, don't get me wrong, because I was able to beat the games. But I generally enjoyed the games, just not at $70. It's definitely worth it at $50. But when people sit there and say that these are the 2 greatest 3D platformers of all time, I gotta disagree. You know, since the Switch one, we've had some amazing 3D platformers that overshadow those games. You know, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, you got Mario Odyssey, Captain Toad's Tracker, you got DK Bonanza, Astrobot. Those games are way better. Well, let's read off some of the chats here, or some of the messages. I already own Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 on Switch on Wii U. I don't need the HD collection. I understand there. Can I ask you why you're so passionate about why you care so much about what kind of content people make like rumors? Well, I don't like it when people sit there, Big's Hummer. I don't like it when people sit there and hype people up and then get people disappointed. That's what I don't like about it. ABS, what's your opinion on PS winning another console generation? Well, Ritzy Gimler, I don't know if PlayStation is going to win this console generation, because technically they didn't win the last one. Yes, I think $70 or $80 is just too much to spend for a video game. Okay, like when it comes to $70 games, I personally do not love $70 games, but I will say when it comes to the $70 game, since it is considered the standard, I just have very high criteria for a $70 game. And I don't change my standard unless it's a difference between, like, if it's a single player focused game or a multiplayer focused game. So like for a single player, I expect 20 hours of quality content for a single player. For a multiplayer, I would probably say I expect I probably expect 5+ hours of quality content for the single player part, since you are going to get replay value with the multiplayer part. Oh, where do you go? Yeah, Angry Vigilante, you're right. They should be $50 for both. Exactly. Playing Galaxy right. Hey, there you go, man. I think Galaxy is much better than Galaxy 2. We got one from Tall Show. Captain Toad was a welcome surprise. I know, Tall Show. That game literally should have been, or they need to do a sequel to that game. Nintendo really needs to come out. I know everybody wants a 3D Mario, but I would rather have a Captain Toad Tracker 2 than a new 3D Mario. Kong Dunk 69 ABS, thank you. They could be greater if they update the Switch 2 DLSS. That's true. They could be. Spam milk. There you go. Spam the milk. Is there an inside joke with milk when it comes to Prime? ABS, he's not trying to put you on the spot. He had to take care of his dog. His dog, oh, that's sad. I love dogs. Dogs are so amazing. You know what? Maybe you guys should get Prime to bring his dog on stream. I think that would make everybody happy. What do you think? His dog is family. Hey, I completely agree. Dogs are wonderful animals. MIT trying to bash you, but he's not 10 to his dog. I didn't think they was trying to bash me. Hello there, Mario123. Even I like Kirby. It surprised the hell out of me. That demo was a good idea. Yes, it was. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is amazing. I love Mario games. There is nothing wrong with that. I enjoy Mario games too. I just think that Mario, sometimes they just do too much Mario. Let's get the Nintendo Byte podcast power. There you go. Oh no, yep. Alrighty. I do think Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green pricing is fair. I honestly think from a business and family perspective, it's easier on parents' wallets. That's so true. Oh, looks like Primey is coming. Oh, he brought the dog on. He brought the doggy on. That is such a cute dog. Oh, I need a dog. Yep, see, we didn't even have to ask him. He already did. Joycey, ABS, no. What do you mean, Joycey? What's no about? I agree with you. I don't care for rumors. I understand. Yep.
Did
Tears of
someone
the
really say that I was trying to like do something bad to you because my dog had to go to the bathroom?
Well, that's what I didn't see the comment, but someone commented back and said, I'm like, I didn't think he was. What are you talking about? What's he doing that's bad? And then you even brought the dog on the screen. I'm like, oh, that's such a cute dog.
Yeah, I was listening to the show the whole time.
Oh, I didn't know you were listening. Apparently someone said they were going to spam milk.
They're going to spam milk.
I don't know if they got, I didn't get to that point.
That's more of a game bird joke. That's more of a game bird joke for the podcast,
Yeah, I remember that milk thing. I'm like, is there a thing with milk? And then I thought, I'm like, oh, it has to be the game bird thing.
Yeah, it's the podcast intro.
I
set up ABS. You know, I set it up for. I wasn't even planning to walk away. It's just he was barking and I was letting it go for like 5 minutes and he just went. So I'm like, dude, he's really gotta go. It's like I don't want to make him suffer. He's a living animal, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't take it as that you were setting me up. Like what? Like, well, like what'd you set me up for, anyways? That's the thing. I don't even understand.
Yeah. Yeah. I know my audience isn't going to sit there and blast you. I'm not worried about it. My audience knows my rules. We respect our guests.
Oh, yeah. Like, even if they would have, I'm so used to it. You don't understand how much. I don't think you understand the amount of blasting that people tried to do to me yesterday for that Fire Red game.
I can imagine because I got blasting just for saying that people should be mad about it, but it still should be cheaper. And I still got blasted.
Yep.
I didn't even buy it.
Hey, like I said, I would love for it to be cheaper. I still think $20 is fair. I would never change my mind on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think it was a super chat earlier. Let me see here.
Yeah, you had a few.
See if that's related to anything we're talking about. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we had. Okay. So there's two. Looks like we had two super chats. Guys, if you have any last minute super chats you want to get in before he leaves, ask him questions as well. We can feature them. I can't feature these ones because they were before I let my dog out. But imagine the only problem in your life is what Nate says in his videos. It says Vito Libido. This is an epic stream. We got Horsecock, Human Centipede, and Bizarre Debate. Well, the Human Centipede was just people telling me there was a third movie. I didn't know there was a third one. I wish I didn't know because now I have to watch it out of pure curiosity and scar myself.
You don't need to watch it, man.
I saw the first two. It's one of those things that like, how is there a third? Okay. Yulia won't. It'll just be me by myself, scarring myself. I'll tell you that. She saw the first one. It's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, there's a anyways. But that's the thing. I wish I didn't know it existed. Now that I know it existed, I have to see it. Okay. Yeah. But imagine the only problem in his life is what Nate says in his video. Well, no, I'm not it, dude. I'll tell you this right now. Just from what I know of ABS, I'm not like some huge problem in this guy's life. Okay. I'm content for him at times, not as much as it was at the very beginning, because there's just people that are legitimately fanboying in ways that I don't understand. Like they go a little too far, maybe a lot too far. So one, there's people that are significantly worse than me when it comes to the fanboy stuff because I do criticize Nintendo here and there. So I don't think any of this is like him having a problem with me. He doesn't like that I cover rumors. I've known this for a long time. He's never liked rumor content. We're not going to agree that I need to be apologizing to people because I also don't take credit for the rumors when they're right, so I shouldn't take credit when they're wrong either. But that's my stance. You should treat both ends the same. And I believe if you're talking about how a rumor's right and acting like indignant about it, it's like, well, I wasn't right about shit. It wasn't my rumor. That being said, we're not going to agree on that. We already know. We went over that. We had a super chat for $10 from Fisherman Mike saying Prime does say that it's a rumor and to take it for what it is. He explains it all the time in his videos. And if we get too hyped, it's our fault because he doesn't say it's not a reality. So it may not happen. Well, that was the point I was trying to make Fisherman Mike to him was that I'm very, very clear in my videos. Even if I'm excited, I'm very, very clear that like, hey, you guys shouldn't just believe this. Like I can present an argument on why we're covering it, but that doesn't mean that it's true. Like even with Nash Weedle, I've said things like he's been wrong. He has been wrong on stuff. He had a really nice run last year. but he's been wrong on some stuff. His run last year is why we're covering it. But yeah, he's been wrong on stuff. You know, so and Nash Beetle's always, even last year when he was on his run of being right about a bunch of stuff, you know, people were even mad back then, and I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, I cover him, he's right. I cover him again, he's right. I cover him again, he's right. What do you want me to do? The guy keeps being right. But obviously, that streak is, in my opinion, probably come to an end. Again, guys, I said he has till the end of March because his own words did not guarantee a direct last week. He still had sources for March. To me, feels like a cop-out, if I'm completely honest, when he said that. But he did say that before we got to the third week. So, I, as I said, I hold people to their words, and their words were that it still could be in March, and there could be a 3D Mario, and that was before we got to the third week of February. So, I'm trying to be fair to him. Plus, you know, he did have that streak of being right. Maybe he did this thing where he talked too soon. I've been on record saying that for him, and this was advice that I gave to him, was I'm like, hey man, when you're talking about directs, if you have a bunch of sources privately that can't agree on when the direct is happening, you just probably shouldn't say anything.
I agree.
Because you clearly don't know enough, because not everyone's agreeing on anything. Like, you know, and this might be a lesson for him, but it doesn't really matter. If there's no general direct next month, guys, and there's no 3D Mario in that direct, so even if there is a general and there's no 3D Mario, I'm not covering him anymore. He supposedly has like a Zelda rumor thing coming up here at some point this week. I'm still not sure if I'm going to cover that until I see if something happens in March. It depends on what he says and if it lines up with somebody else's rumor that has proven to be more accurate than him. So it's going to depend on what he's talking about. But you know, people are upset about the 40th anniversary, which they should have never expected or anything. But that's, people need to listen to my video sometimes when I say that. Nintendo celebrates their anniversaries for Zelda in June and beyond, guys. They do not do it around the actual anniversary. They've never done it around the actual, like, ever. And I showed that in my video today, like showing here's when Nintendo actually talks about Zelda anniversaries.
You excited for another gaming
as I
watch?
said in my video, guys, another, yeah, that was so 35th was so bad. But yeah, guys, so if you expected anything for Zelda, you just didn't pay attention to what Nintendo does. They're still advertising and marketing Mario's 40th. You're not going to hear about Zelda while they're doing that. And Pokemon always does their anniversary as well. So that's why Nintendo waits. All right. We had a member chat come in. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, okay. Oh, it's just one thing. I see Link the Dog. I already brought him on. Just rewind the stream. I can't let him keep walking around in here. He's a pretty big dog. And sometimes he'll get like tangled in some of my stuff on my set because there's like headphone wires and stuff all over. So it's like, I'm not worried about him getting hurt, but I am worried about him accidentally breaking like $800 equipment. So I don't usually let him in my office too much.
Oh, I get it.
Cute
dog.
Unless I'm not streaming. Yeah, if I'm not streaming, then I'll let him in, because one, all the wires will be picked up off the floor, and then he'll just lay on the couch that I have over here while I'm over there editing or doing research. But that's when I'm streaming, he's trying to walk over here on the streaming set, and that's like where it's not, you know, a dog shouldn't be walking around on this set. Someday I might have all the cables, none of them touch the ground. My headphone cable right now is touching the ground. Someday I might not have any of them touch the ground, but it's hard. I had things better cable man. Every time I cable manage things really well, I have to take everything apart. Something always happens. Well, I still cover Attack the Backlog, says Sonic 101. Well, yeah. I mean, he's got a 100% track record so far. He doesn't have a lot out there right now. It's like 5 things that he got right. There's nothing new out there right now. Sure. He's also a friend of mine. I happen to know his source is pretty legit, but I can't say anything about it. So, yeah, I'll still cover him. If he starts getting a whole bunch wrong, obviously that's when you reevaluate and you're like, all right, like maybe he lost his source. Maybe now he's making things up. I don't think he's someone who would make things up because I know him as a friend, but you know, it could happen. Like Nash Weedle, I don't really know. So, and he has been wrong on stuff in the past, and he has been right on stuff. Nate the Hate's got a pretty good track record, but he's not 100%. But he's pretty good about events. He's pretty good about like when a direct's going to happen, when a state of play is going to happen, that kind of stuff. He's pretty accurate on that front. Like he said the state of play was going to be on the 12th before anyone else did. And sure as shit, it was on the 12th. He was not the first person to say there'd be a direct on the 5th. That was actually Nash, Weedle, and Attack the Backlog. And Attack the Backlog had his own source on that, independent of Nash. But they didn't clarify part. No. Attack the Backlog, he implied it was going to be a partner, technically, in one of his tweets, but he did it so cryptically. I told him, stop being so damn cryptic. Just say. Just say, man. That's something that bugs me is when people get really cryptic with it. It's like, come on. You're either allowed to say it or you're not allowed to say it. If you're not allowed to say it, then just don't say anything.
Are you talking about when he sat there and did that tweet
I think that's pretty good.
riddle?
Yeah, when people do like the riddles and stuff. Yeah. I'm always like, look, as fun as that is to speculate on, it's like, man, you're either allowed to say something or you're not allowed to say something. You know? It's fine that they were teasing a podcast episode. That's fine. I don't mind them doing teases. You're just trying to get viewers on your content. But besides that, there's been other times that I'm like, man, just say it. Like, or don't if you're not allowed to. Okay, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, I just want to throw out there before I go that, I thought that this episode was very productive. And I think it's important to show people that two people that do two different types of content can actually come together, have a productive conversation, no yelling, no name calling. You were respectful. I thought I was very respectful. And unfortunately, we have a little bit of technical issues with the Discord. It's unfortunate. Sometimes it happens, guys. You should have seen like a month ago. For some reason, my live stream kept crashing every 5 minutes, it felt like.
Yeah. Sometimes YouTube has problems too. It's a pain in the ass. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on. It was a fun conversation. Good luck to you with whatever you got going on tomorrow and the rest of the week.
Oh, yeah. I just want to say tomorrow, if anybody's interested, I got a video coming out about Steam winning a lawsuit and about PlayStation 5 canceling Blue Point Studios, if anybody's interested. And we know you got some news videos coming out tomorrow, right, Prime?
Yeah, probably. I mean, look, it's what I do. I just don't know what the news is because we're at tomorrow yet.
I know, but I'm gonna repost this on my
stories. 13.
Yeah, I'm gonna repost this on my channel, so maybe not everybody knows about you. That's why.
Yeah, I do daily news stuff, guys. Obviously, rumors and leaks are part of that, but I do like covering actual news that comes out. Like, there's a 13-minute Monster Hunter Stories thing that popped up over the weekend, and a new trailer that may appear in the video tomorrow. That won't be like the main story, but it'll be part of it. But whatever. And I'll link to your channel quick in the chat if anyone wants to go check it out.
All right. And I don't know about you, but did it seem like we had like such like almost no news to go on, and then last Thursday it hit us all at once?
News for what?
Like everything.
Oh, you mean just like news in general?
Yeah, just news in general. I mean everything.
I'm gonna go back and glance. I'm trying to remember. What did I even cover last? Yeah, I would say it was pretty heavy towards the end of the week.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, it's not just me. All right. Well, everybody, take care. Sorry.
Later, man.
All right, everyone, take care. You have a great night, Prime.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
All right, bye.
And that's it for the video. If you truly enjoyed it, do me a favor and hit the like button, hit the hype button, share it around, and make sure you're subscribed. I post a long video every day, and I also go live Monday morning at 5 a.m. Pacific time, where I react to the saltiest fanboys around. And also, make sure you subscribe, because I'm really trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I really need your help. If you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. It's only $1 a month. You'll get special badges, custom emotes, and of course your name shouted at the end of every video. And once that list gets too long, don't worry, I will turn it into a full-on credit roll so everybody gets their chance to shine. Also, don't forget to check out the merch if you want to rep the Vigilante Fire. And as always, until next time, guys, stay vigilant.
And now it's time to get into the members of the channel. We got Koros Objective, Maximilian Pegasus 88, Matt Fox 94, Evil Rolio, Oh No It's Justin, Naria, Camero, C-Stars Piplup, Jay Wesby 65, Geezer Noob, Dustin 360, That PlayStation Gamer, Stephen Ramey, Matthew Buckley, Johnny Bones Jones, Trigger Is Group, Bunny Keese, A1K 300, Kawabi Asaria, Starlight Mirror, Crystal Woe, Pokefan, Jake Spider Monkey, The Fat Man, Dylan Hout Telling, Charlotte Jackson, Elijah Morris, Is Varaion, MS Velvet Crow, Ilias 1868, and Laura Boss Killer. Thank you so much for becoming part of the crew.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're